Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to State and Local Government, Political Science 322. And I'm, of course, the Professor Michael Smith, and I'm sorry I'm not there with you today. Our department has a retreat to plan the coming semester, and it turned out that the best time for everybody was during this class. I was the only one that had a class that conflicted, and I need to be there, so I'm making this video and having the terrific work-study students distribute the syllabus to you, and so that we can get the class off to a good, strong start. So let me just tell you a little bit about the class briefly. This class is taught in what you might call a traditional method. I do quite a bit of lecturing, and I put notes up on the overhead as I lecture. Now, we mix it up a little bit, so it's not just lecture and notes, but that's a big piece of it. First of all, my lecture style is what I call the open lecture, and that is to say that in this particular class I will be up there lecturing. There will be some structured notes, but when you have comments or questions or just want to chime in, you're welcome to raise your hand and I'll stop and we'll have that discussion. It's not something where I have to be really strict and really rote. If I bring up something that's a good discussion topic, or if you have a question or a comment, or you think I've said something that's incorrect, feel free to let me know. So that's what I mean by the open lecture style. Free to just raise your hand and stop me, and we'll talk. And it's more of an informal style. You'll see me sitting on the table sometimes as I lecture. It's not a real strict, rote kind of top-down. I don't memorize my lectures. There's some other things we're going to do to mix it up as well. We're going to have quite a few guest speakers. We've already got several lined up. The first one's going to be Representative Peggy Mast, who's from here in Emporia and rural Lyon County, and she is the Speaker Pro Tem of the Kansas House. She'll talk a little bit about the Kansas State Legislature and being the Pro Tem, and also a little bit about the internship program. You can get 5 credit hours for interning at the legislature, and I'm the one that assigns the 5 credit hours, and she's the one that runs it out of her office in the legislature. So she'll be here to talk about all that early in September. Mid-September, we'll have a state rep from out of state, Representative John Mayfield from Missouri, who won a competitive race for his seat. Will come and talk with us a little bit about what it's like to serve in the state legislature in another state. And then toward the end of the month, we'll have Senator Jeff Longbine, who's also from here in Emporia, but he serves in the Kansas Senate rather than the Kansas House of Representatives. Also, Senator Longbine is considered a moderate Republican. Representative Mast is considered a conservative Republican. So we'll get a pretty good cross-section of different political views there. And then I'd also like to get a speaker from local government, and I've left a space on the syllabus for that. As far as the tests go, we're going to start you out with multiple choice, the first test. By the way, all of this is on the syllabus. My syllabi are very detailed. I tend to fall apart if I don't have a really detailed syllabus to follow, and a lot of students like it too. So if you look toward the back of your syllabus, you'll see a detailed schedule of what we're reading and what we're doing each day throughout the semester. We might adjust that a little, but that'll give you an idea and help keep you on track there. And so you'll notice on that schedule we start out with an exam that's worth a little bit fewer points. That's all multiple choice. And then for subsequent exams we move to a combination of multiple choice and essay. We're going to mix it up a little bit with the essay. The multiple choice you'll take closed book in class, and then with the essay I'll give you the topic early. You take it home, you have a week to write it. Open book, open notes. So you won't need to do any memorizing for the essay. You'll do more analysis and really work with the material instead of memorizing it. But there are a few things that it's good to know off the top of your head, and the multiple choice will take care of that. This class also has a project requirement. It's not a term paper, it's a PowerPoint presentation, including you orally delivering the PowerPoint. And so if you look on your schedule, at the end of the semester, there are 6 class days set aside for you to give student presentations. We'll start that off with me giving you some research tips. Then I will give you a presentation of my own on the Kansas budget, and then you all will give your presentations to each other and take question and answer and the whole thing. There's a grade for the oral delivery of your project, and there's a grade for the project itself, including the research and the citations you used to build it, which you'll send to me via an email attachment so I can take a look at it and share it with your classmates. And so you might want to get started early on that. Everyone will do a different state. No one will do Kansas except for me, because I want to kind of broaden things out and look at some other states and not just at Kansas. But I'll do one on Kansas, so we won't be ignoring Kansas in this class. But we want to look at other states as well. On your project, also, you'll have a choice. You can do a project on the No Child Left Behind law with education and how it's implemented in the state of your choice, or you can do a project on the state budget. And if you'll look on your syllabus, it gives the details of the expectations for the two different project topic choices. No Child Left Behind on the one hand, budget on the other. You don't do both, you just pick one, whichever one you prefer. My syllabi, again, are very detailed. You'll see contact information for me, my email address, my office hours. All of that is at the top of the syllabus. Some different study tips and university required language. We do have in-class exams in this class, at least the multiple choice part. So if you take your exam at Disability Services, let me and Disability Services know. We'll work with you, and that's all confidential. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward class. Lecture, notes. We're going to have quite a few guest speakers, free and open lecture style, where you're welcome to speak up, and I hope you do. And then your presentations, and by the way, those are at the end of class. Those come at the end of the semester. You've got the two books. You've got the Governing States and Localities textbook by Smith et al. That's not me. I'm not the lead author on that, but I don't mind if you use an older edition. I just ask that you have the books on time so you don't fall behind on any required reading, and you are going to need that this Wednesday. So it's a little late to get them online if you haven't already, but I don't care if you buy used copies or go to Textbook Corner. I don't care if you buy an older edition. It's changed a little, but it hasn't changed that much. Not trying to stop you from saving money. I just want you to have those books in time to do the reading on time and not fall behind. There's a second one, The Legislating Without Experience, and that's a book about term limits, limiting how long elected officials can serve in office in our state legislatures and the impact that they have had. So we're going to cover the nuts and bolts of state government, the three branches: courts, governor, legislature, some of the different policy making like taxing and health and welfare policy and things like that, budgeting, of course, school funding, and a number of other things. We'll also have a few days off, the regular holidays, and then a few days when I have traveling responsibilities. All that's laid out on the syllabus. To keep this video brief, I'm going to wrap it up. But if you have any questions, unfortunately I don't have my office hours today because of that retreat, but just send me an email. The email is at the top of the syllabus. Stop by during office hours, or I will see you on Wednesday. Please do that first reading, and I will see you Wednesday, and we will get started. I am looking forward to it.